A very good evening and thank you so much for joining us tonight on BeeTv Major News at 6, reaching you live from Benin City, the Edo State capital, Nigeria. My name is Oluwatoyin Oyedola. Before we delve into the news, let's quickly take a look at the highlights.
Our at a time when we are not even in government, we have not been in government in the past 8 years, go outside and see. But really, I am grateful to all of you, and I am convinced with the unity of leaders of Edo South, delivering Edo South of them. We pray in the name of God the Father, Amen. God the Son, Amen. And God the Holy Spirit. Amen.
University of Toronto, Canada, to help us with institutionalizing the Edo language.
I think in 2016 when Governor Obaseki came on board, he immediately revisited the use of language in our schools.
I want to use this medium to tell everyone that we still need support, especially during this time of economic shaking.
Pleaded on people to come and support us. There has been some responses from individuals that have been coming, especially in the area of supplying notebooks to our children.
Many of us right now, our school fees are not paid.
That one are for something. They sell am for 5. You understand? So now the yam take come. Now different grades, different price.
Cost of transportation is too much. Insecurity. Some people they feel farm because of S-men. S-men they key farmers. So come make food too over cost.
First of all, this will come down. Fuel will come down. If fuel come down, the rest things will come down.
Now to the news in detail. Political heavyweights and gladiators of the All Progressive Congress from the Edo South Senatorial District have closed ranks to vote out Governor Godwin Obaseki's People's Democratic Party and its candidate Aswen Ighodalo in the September 21st governorship election. This position was espoused at a meeting dubbed Edo South APC Leadership Family Conversation, convened by APC Deputy Governorship candidates, Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, former Edo Deputy Governor and leader of the party in the Senatorial District, Dr. Pius Odubu. We'll bring this report to you subsequently. Now, as the September 21st Edo governorship election draws closer, the Edo State All Progressive Congress leadership in Edo South have begun preparations for a massive electioneering campaign rally built to begin formally tomorrow, August 13th, 2024, at the premises of the University of Benin, Ekewan campus, Benin City. According to the campaign director for APC Edo South, Mr. Lucky Maswen, over 10,000 party stalwarts and supporters are expected at the venue, where preparations and setting up is already underway. The rally is also expected to be attended by APC chieftains and leaders from Edo South, as the mega rally will be a way of pulling the voting electorates in Edo South.
Our
Notable Edo South APC leaders present at the family meeting include a former Deputy Governor Dr. Pius Odubu, former Deputy Governor Lucky Egosa Maswen, former APC governorship candidate Pastor Osaige Izeyamu, Director General APC Campaign Council Senator Matthew Rohide, former Board of Trustees members of the PDP and now chieftain of the APC Charles Idahosa, Others were State APC Secretary Engineer Lawrence Oka, APC Youth Leader Tony Kabaka Adun, Honorable Barrister Nosa Adams, and former Deputy Speaker Edo State House of Assembly Right Honorable Paul Hombamo, member representing Oriomo East Constituency Osamoyi Atu, member representing Ovia Southwest Constituency Sunday Aredo, among other notable politicians. Speaking one after the other, former Deputy Governor and leader of the party in Edo South, Dr. Pius Udubu, said Obaseki's action and policies have underdeveloped the state with tales of unfulfilled promises and urged party faithful to work together to deliver APC the September governorship election. He said with the caliber of leaders at the meeting, Edo South is poised to rise again. Udubu said when APC was at the aim of affairs, Edo people saw massive road construction and rehabilitation across the 18 local government areas, hospitals were built, and civil servants were paid as at when due. He said sadly all the gains recorded by the Oshomole administration were reversed. While Oshomole's government was action-oriented, the PDP government of Governor Obaseki is all about signing memoranda of understanding.
This party, APC, will respect the traditional institution. We respect the order of belief. That we have done it before. We will do it again. I can see those who did it for them. I'm happy they are now with us. So assurances are now doubly sure that they will tell you that if you see a Kakomisa,
Pastor Saige Izayamu, the Director General of the campaign, Matthew Rohide, and former Deputy Governor, Mr. Lucky Imaswe, on their part, said winning Edo South for APC is a task that must be done, adding that for any party to win the governorship, it must first win Edo South Senatorial District. They lambasted Obaseki, describing him as one who must not be allowed to install a successor in the September governorship election, noting that the PDP candidate cannot be trusted, particularly as he is riding on the back of a man who failed Edo in the last 7.5 years.
At a time when we are not even in government, we have not been in government in the past 8 years, go outside and see. What I'm trying to tell you is that the real leaders of our people are the ones seated here.
Like I said, if Monokwebolo has done what they are doing in the Central, and then of course, right on Dennis Idausa, who is getting the mandate a second time for 8 years. The difference between Dennis Idausa and the other person, he has been dealing with the common people in Ovia. He has not been dealing with people in government alone.
We are getting 6 over 6 in Edo North. Tell them 5 over 5 in Edo Central. Is that not the 11? What about Edo South? Because if we don't do well, we will be tying his hands. We are going to win. Are we going to be part of the victory?
Yes, sir.
The train is about to depart from the station. Those who want to join, come aboard. If you don't want to join, you'll be left behind. We will not be left behind in Jesus' name. Amen.
On his part, the deputy governorship candidate, Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, promised that when elected and sworn in, they will right the ills of the Obaseki's administration.
We believe in one man, one vote. Anybody, any political party that thinks they can humiliate, harass, intimidate the Edo people, you cannot rig our election. We are going to vote and protect our votes. And by the grace of God, we know the leadership of Edo State has been given to distinguished Sunday Monday Okwebolo to be our next governor.
The chairman of the APC Governorship Campaign Council and Senator representing Edo North Senatorial District, Senator Comrade Adams Eric Oshamale, and the governorship candidate, Senator Monday Okwebolo, made a special appearance at the Edo South APC Leadership Conversation meeting. In his well-crafted speech, Senator Oshamale appreciated the leaders of Edo South and commended them for their efforts in keeping the APC flag flying. He also went ahead to eulogize the Robber of Benin in His Royal Majesty, LY II CFRO. Oshamale tasked and encourage all party stakeholders to continue the good and selfless work.
And I know you will respect not only the Oba, you will respect the palace and you respect the institution, all like others. So, but really, I am grateful to all of you, and I am convinced with the unity of leaders of Edo South, delivering Edo South of Oden.
The leaders in unison demonstrated a symbolic unity as they held hands and prayed for success.
Let the money not bring victory. Amen. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Lord, we also pray for each and every one. Amen. We want prosperous of this state. Amen. We pray in the name of God the Father. Amen. God the Son. Amen. And God the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Best orator reporting for BeeTv News.
The camp for internally displaced persons, supervised by a Home for the Needy Foundation at Uhogwa community in Ovia Northeast local government area of Edo State, have made an earnest appeal for more assistance, especially in the areas of feeding, electrification, academic scholarships and stationeries to the government, non-governmental organizations and well-meaning individuals to come to the aid of the children and others at the camp. It was gathered that some students from the camp recently have been unable to pay their tuition fees. BeeTv News' Uyi Lambert visited the camp, and the report is presented by Best Orator.
This is the camp of the internally displaced persons supervised by the Home for the Needy Foundation located at Uhogwa community in Ovia Northeast local government area of Edo State. As gathered, the camp is now home to an estimated 3,000 persons made up of mostly women and children who were displaced from their birthplaces some years ago by the Boko Haram insurgency in northeast Nigeria, especially Borno State. When BeeTv News crew visited the camp and interacted with some of the supervisors and students, they affirmed that though conditions have improved a little since the last visit because of donations received from a few magnanimous individuals, for which they are grateful for, they pleaded for more assistance both in the provision of foodstuffs, academic stationeries, toiletries, and a solar pump. Speaking to BeeTv News, one of the supervisors at the Home for the Needy Foundation, Pastor Mrs. Evelyn Omigie, stated that the children at the camp are in their need of help, especially in the midst of the economic hardship and food inflation, and therefore appealed for help. She also added that about 150 students from the camp who passed this year's JAM UTME with flying colors, and some high-achieving students in various universities we need scholarships to continue their education, and plead with individuals and corporate organizations as well as government to come to their aid.
Living condition is improving by the grace of God with the successes that we are recording here every day. You know, you saw a boy that came out first class, and the admission he has equally gotten to study, do his PhD. University at Chicago, USA. And I also want to use this medium to tell everyone that we still need support, especially during this time of economic shaking. There's a lot of, in fact, things are so expensive. As we're talking now, we've not started no food for this morning. Money food is not in the making. Talk more of, you know, is for them to eat at this time, and we need food.
Also, some of the high-achieving students who include our best graduate student in chemical engineering, Solomon Ishaku from the Edo State University Uzaire, Joseph David, a 200-level student of anatomy in Ekiti State University, as well as Philemon Ishaku, a high school leaver who scored 303 in JAM UTME to study accounting, appealed to government, non-governmental organizations, and other kind-hearted persons to come to their help as regards payment of tuition fees.
We pleaded on people to come and support us. There has been some responses from individuals that have been coming, especially in the area of supplying notebooks to our children. In the area of school fees, I tell you, that is the major challenge, and food. These are the major critical challenge. For those of them that are in university, they need school fees to be paid.
Many of us right now, our school fees are not paid. Yes, and over 200 and something students now, their school fees are not paid. Order from Edo State University, there's order from Unimed, University of Maiduguri, University of Benin, University of Enugu, and many, and our school too, Ekiti State University. And they need money, they need a lot of support for them to enter into the university. Yes, right now, the money food we have not eaten money food.
Jam result come out, I got 303. So I want to study accounting in this higher institution. So I don't want my jam to be wasted just like that. There are so many people that got even higher than my own. I need your help. We need your help. We need yes, you need assistance.
They are hoping that kind-hearted individuals and organizations will render assistance to them. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
Now, traders at upper markets have lamented over the abandonment of the market construction, which had begun some months prior. Our correspondent reports that most of the traders called on the state government to complete the project in earnest. The report.
Rain, they beat us. Sun, they beat us. Most of them, they will go admission from hospital to hospital.
Despite the commencement of the upper market construction project, which had begun sometime in February this year, resulting in traders evacuating the area, the project has witnessed some setbacks. It was gathered from some traders that the project had been halted owing to alleged negligence from the state government.
Now, February, now they say make we come up for inside market. Say they want repair. Now we can't say okay. Everybody come park. We can't come outside. Rain go beat us. Sun go beat us. Contractor, after when we come out for inside market, contractor they can't enter inside market. They can't the repairer. When they do one before a month, contractor they'll just sit down. What you know they do? They say the money when they give them, it don't finish. They don't give them money again.
They know they work again. Since 3 months now they not work. Now inside store they get to store. No. Outside if I say 1,000, you say 800 by medicine. I not send the inside some. Make they let me go back to my store.
Other traders stating their plight expressed their distaste over the delay of the project as they have had no shelter to carry out their daily business activities, urging the Edo State government to do the needful.
How I go happy where son the mama me na window I be without market I can't live with my children. No, it's a son I did. Make them do the market and make we go. We beg the government. They never puzik. Make them puzik. Make person go. Make enter some market. Now they pay.
They know they work. Oh, don't say. They say they not pay them. They know they work again. They just leave the market. We dey outside. Sun they beat us. Rain they beat us. Many people don't go admission. We they beg them. Make they come up airports. Make they build the market. Make we enter inside market.
They say some for come they say now. Make they come do this thing for the market for us.
Due to the ongoing construction, which has now been delayed, many of the traders have resorted to setting up stalls on the road beside the markets, which has been causing vehicular and human obstruction. They are calling on the government to do the needful and complete the project in due time. Oluwatoyin Oyedola reporting for BeeTv News.
As the September 21st Edo governorship elections draws closer, the Edo State All Progressive Congress leadership in Edo South have begun preparations for a massive electioneering campaign rally built to begin formally tomorrow, August 13, 2024, at the premises of the University of Benin, Ekenwa campus, Benin City. According to the campaign director for APC Edo South, Mr. Lucky Imaswe, over 10,000 party stalwarts and supporters are expected at the venue, where preparations and setting up is already underway. The rally is also expected to be attended by APC chieftains and leaders from Edo South, as the mega rally will be a way of pulling the voting electorates in Edo South. As at the time the news crew visited the venue of the mega rally, the stage, canopies and chairs were being set up in preparation for the rally. According to Mr. Lucky Imaswe, the program will commence at 11 o'clock in the morning. Yam sellers and buyers in yam depots across Benin City decried the hike in prices of yams amidst the new yam season, as they now purchase a truck of 100 yams for as high as 400 to 500,000 naira And a tuber of yam, which used to sell for 1,000 naira or 1,500, now sells for as high as 3,000 to 5,000 naira. They stress the need for government to tackle insecurity and fuel hike as the basis for the inflation. BeeTv News, Esoye Oserige has the details.
That one are 4 something. We dey sell am 4-5. You understand? So now the yam take come. Now different grades, different price.
A visit to some yam depot in Benin City shows that the hike in price of food items have also affected yam amidst the new yam season. In an interaction by BeeTv News with some yam sellers, revealed that it takes close to 400 to 500,000 naira to purchase 100 tubers of yam, depending on the size. In turn, they have to sell for as high as 4,000 naira or 5,000 naira to be able to accumulate gains.
From the farmer, the price they sell is what we give out here too. We cannot go there without making gain. But there are some yam, it will be difficult for us to sell from the cost we bought it from that side. So it's from the farm, the cost price is from the farm. There are some you will buy from that side, 600,000. There are some 4, there are some 2, there are some 100 something.
When asked the reason for the high cost, they attributed it to the cost of fuel and transportation, lack of enough farmers in farmlands due to insecurity, among others, while pleading with the government to come to their aid and reduce the high cost of food items.
People when they bring the yam, at least they farm now, they don't pay workers. As fuel not there, as fuel there now, people when come clear the farm, they go still increase their money. Who go approve the yam come out? You go pay now. Who when we come buy am before we come carry am reach what we want come sell am? Transport and all. Maybe where would they pay transport before now 10,000 naira take reach here. Now transport now 30,000, 35.
Cost of transportation is too much. Insecurity. Some people they feel farm because of S-men. S-men they key farmers. So come make food too over costs. They government hear our voice. I beg. People they hunger day.
The buyers were not left out as they registered their frustrations over the cost of food items, particularly yam, while pleading with the federal and state government to address their plight.
We dey go bend with the rates. The price of fuel is too high. We are begging our president to reduce fuel, diesel. First of all, diesel come down. Fuel will come down. If fuel come down, the rest things will come down. People will feel they afford them. The price of yam is too high. And this place where we sell, then we go direct. We dey beg government, make it come our aid, make it come rescue us.
And not be our fault. As you like say we buy at 400,000 now. Not to come collect like 500, 10,000. Okay, now inside the yam, if you calculate enter the yam now.
The other agent says whatever goes up will surely come down, seem not to be the case with the Nigerian economy and inflation in food items. However, it is hoped that things will get better. Esoye Oserige reporting for BeeTv News.
Edo State Governor Mr. Godwin Obaseki has inaugurated the chairman of the state's 20-member transition committee and a former commissioner for finance in the state, Mr. Joseph Egboigbe, as the new secretary to the state government. BeeTv News, Esoye Oserige has more.
Obaseki, who inaugurated the new secretary to the state government at the ESCO chambers in Government House, Benin City, expressed confidence in the capability of Mr. Egboigbe, describing him as an astute, diligent and detailed man who has proven himself under his administration, urging him to consolidate on his finishing strong agenda. The new Edo SSG, Mr. Joseph Egboigbe, subscribes to relevant oath of office as he replaces his predecessor, Barrister Osaradion Oge, who resigned his appointment to pursue his political aspiration as a PDP deputy governorship candidate in the September 21st gubernatorial election.
We know that he is a very astute professional. We know that he is very diligent. He is and very detailed. Any assignment that he is given to do. So I have no doubt in my mind that he knows what to do and is going to help us in finishing strong and ensuring that we have a perfect transition and succession to the next administration.
Obaseki said the new secretary to the state government is an old hand and has been part of this administration before. He said he was two-time commissioner of this administration. Currently, he is the chairman of the transition committee.
He's an old hand. He has been part of this administration before this administration came into office, and was two-time commissioner in this administration. Currently, he is chairman in the committee, the transition committee. So I couldn't find a better fit than Mr. Eboigbe.
In his response, the new SSG, Mr. Joseph Eboigbe, thanks the governor for reposing confidence in him to serve in the capacity as secretary to Edo State government.
This itself is a very huge assignment, especially in the last few months to the roundup of this administration. I am committed to excellence, sir, and I promise I will discharge my responsibility to the utmost ability, and also to exceed the expectations you have set for me, and above all, sir, to the glory of God and to the ultimate upliftment of the state.
Mr. Joseph Eboigbe has served under the present administration as special advisor to the governor on budget and economic planning and as commissioner for finance. Esoa Osemege, reporting for BeeTv News.
The annual celebration of the Edo Language Day worldwide, an anniversary observed every August 11th and 13th, was filled with a lot of color to portray the rich cultural heritage of the Edo people. The program was graced by the Edo State Commissioner of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Diaspora Affairs, Honorable Uyi Odua Malaka, and some Edo veteran broadcasters, actors and musicians such as Barrister Osage Asabo, Omo Osage Utete Nugabe, Mickey Jaga, Richard Ugiagbe, and a host of others. The occasion emphasized the need for Edo people to take pride in speaking their language as a means of transmitting the rich heritage from one generation to the next. BeeTv News Best Orator brings details of this story.
The Benin people are renowned worldwide for their proud display of rich, beautiful cultural heritage as shown in their folklores, the revered cultural old monarchical system, and of course in their dance and drama. Taking pride in the linguistic and dialectical aspect of the cultural heritage was stressed at the 2024 Edo Language Day worldwide celebration, which was held at the John Odige Oyegu Academic Center in Benin City. The event is observed annually on August 11 to 13 respectively among the Edo people both at home and in the diaspora to respect and honor the Edo language and promote its preservation for generations unborn. In her speech and in harmony with this year's theme of the anniversary, the Renaissance of Edo Indigenous Language, Edo State Commissioner for Arts, Culture, Tourism and Diaspora Affairs, Honorable Uyi Odua Malaka, commended the efforts of the team of Lady Nekme Obasogie, the initiator based in Canada, and her team for organizing the event, as stated that the aim of the annual program was to celebrate and promote the Edo language as it carries the history of Edo people. She therefore said all Edo sons and daughters should take pride in speaking the language as it acts as a unifier.
Gathered here on this momentous occasion to celebrate and promote one of the most vital aspects of our identity, the Edo language. But we now have children that we must pass on the message to speak Edo language.
Earlier, the master of the ceremony, Omo Osage Utete Negabi, gave a brief history of how the annual celebration of Edo language was initiated by Lady Nekme Obasogie and stated that the Oba of Benin have indulged the Edo people to carry on the legacy of teaching the language and promoting cultural heritage.
Into her school, University of Toronto, Canada, to help us with institutionalizing the Edo language in Canada.
All in attendance were later treated and entertained by the electrifying Inner Theatre troupe with the traditional Edo and Benin melodious singing and choreography. Later, some young ones also recited poems or ehara in Edo language to the admiration of the audience. In an interview with Newsmen, the Edo State Commissioner for Arts, Culture, Tourism and Diaspora Affairs, Honorable Uyi Odua Malaka, revealed ways in which the Edo State government, led by Godwin Obaseki, have promoted speaking of Edo language, especially by including it in school curriculums and in the movie industry.
You know, that's what they knew at that time, but now we know that we would lose it if we don't speak it. So I think it should be a deliberate and intentional effort on our part. I think in 2016, when Governor Obaseki came on board, he immediately revisited the use of language in our schools and our history.
Also, speaking on behalf of the organizers of the 2024 Edo Language Worldwide, Comrade Omoege Uyosa stated that the motive for the annual program initiated by Lady Nekmo Basoge was to preserve the Edo language from extinction as predicted by the United Nations forecast. Mr. Osaigi Asabo, a veteran broadcaster and other participants on the program, lauded the efforts of the organizers and stressed that parents should serve as examples at home in teaching their children the language.
In the United Nations, where 2050 extinction.
Edo language and the role it plays in the upbringing that one has to have for himself, and then inculcate in his children and family at large.
Personally, I enjoyed it, especially seeing the students speak their dialect. I pray that the Lord Almighty will bless the organizers, He will enrich them.
It was actually really more impressive. So I look forward to more Edo language because I really like promoting our culture. So I really would love to have more of the shows improving Edo language and teaching people more how to speak really and how to promote our culture.
I actually did my research online, and my other parents which teach me the Edo language, the Benin language, so I can speak Benin perfectly.
Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
In other news, the Nigerian Army Resource Center has ended an 11-month training program for senior military officers and other security agents. Participants now have a mandate to develop indigenous solutions to emerging security challenges. BeeTv News' Joyce Ire has more.
For 11 months, these senior military officers and other security agents have undertaken a training program on strategic management and policy study. The goal is to equip them with the skills required to tackle emerging security challenges by providing leadership.
As top military officers alongside your counterparts in the intelligence and security agencies, the idea of building human capacity by various organizations is in tandem with global trend and necessity for domestic challenges we are all currently managing. Capacity development is also very crucial for any organization that intends on one hand to be relevant and on the other has a vision for growth, or any with aspiration of producing positive impact in the ever-evolving dynamic modern environment.
So the challenges are there. And I do hope that, they will be able to utilize that. But for the training, I don't have any doubt that they have had the best in this center.
Recent protests and demonstrations in parts of the country were a case study for the participants. The center is convinced that the challenges can be addressed only when indigenous solutions are applied, and that must be continuous. Joyce Ire reporting for BeeTv News.
Thousands of road users are still trapped after a heavy flood washed out parts of the busy Kano-Maiduguri Federal Highway. And in response to this, the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, has reordered an immediate assessment of the damaged road. BeeTv News' Joyce Ire completes this report.
The Kano-Maiduguri Dual Carriage Highway is a major artery connecting several states and cities in the northeast with the northwest region. A flood that resulted from a heavy rain washes out a portion of the express at Katagon local government area of Bauchi State, leaving thousands of road users stranded. The Bauchi State governor visited the site where he calls for urgent intervention from the federal government.
This is a major highway, the Northeast Highway, that it has been washed away completely, the two dual roads. So we are calling on the federal government to come to our aid. We are going to take this responsibility, inshallah, to convey this development to Abuja through the controller of works. If they give us permission and they are unable to do it, definitely will swing to action and make sure that we carry remedial measures.
In a swift response, the minister assigned a technical team to assess the road, after which the contract for a portion of the highway was revoked. It will be recalled that the Bauchi-Gombe road was also damaged in July, making this the second major federal road washed out in Bauchi State during the 2024 rainy season. In April 2024, the federal government announced that 148 local government areas in 34 states were at risk of severe flooding. The major concern of experts now is that the flood season is projected to extend in November, making the risk of washout a constant danger. Joyce Ire reporting for BeeTv News.
Now to Kogi State, where the governor, Ahmed Usman Ododo, has presented a staff of office to His Royal Highness Oba Johnson Kolade Otitoju, the Akiri of Ekiri land, at a presentation ceremony held at the Glass House of the Government House in Lokoja. Governor Ododo extolled the rich cultural heritage of the Akiri community and urged the new Akiri of Ekiri land to use its position to foster peace, people, and support community policing initiatives and attract investors to foster development in the area. The governor emphasized the role of traditional institutions in protecting moral values among the people.
To present the staff of office to my beloved disciplinarian and flogging father.
I hope that the Akiri will uphold the rich history, culture, and traditions of the great people of Ekiri. Your reign is expected to herald a new vista of development.
Suspected armed bandits have invaded Lambara and Tungu Barki villages in Shagari local government area, displacing over 300 households, and rustled over 3,000 cattle, camel, and other livestock. Members of the community attacked have all relocated to Shagari town, headquarters of Shagari local government area, taking refuge in an Islamic school. Member representing Yabo Shagari Federal Constituency, Yusuf Yabo, has, alongside officials of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, visited the victims in their temporary displaced persons CP for on-the-spot assessments. The lawmaker calls on the security agencies and the authorities concerned to redouble efforts in restoring peace.
They are safe. So that is why we went and visited them. And I also informed the NEMA, that is the Management Disaster Agency, for them to go and see by themselves. And that is the reason why we went there.
The Minister of Works, David Umahi, has directed a technical team from the ministry to assess Section 3 of the dualized Kano-Maiduguri road cut off by flood. The minister was speaking during a performance review meeting with Dangote Group of Companies PLC, Bua Companies PLC, Mainstream Limited on some road projects handled under Road Infrastructure Development and Refurbishment Investment Tax Credit Scheme. He called for more concerted efforts by all contractors.
Roads in each of the 3 sections, that's 60 kilometers. Presently, they are working at Ekboma, the worst section of the road, and I'm happy that they are doing a good job. But they also have this Abuja Kano, which is 17.6 kilometers. It's part of the previous project of Beja, which was dismembered into 3. And we have the first section being handled by Dangote, with his subcontractor High-Tech. It's going to be done under concrete, and it's 38 kilometers by 2.
The just concluded Paris Olympics has generated mixed reactions from Nigerians on the poor performance of the athletes who competed in the Games. BeeTv News' Freeman Osawe reports that the respondents blame the failure of the athletes on lack of preparations from the team, as well as over bureaucracy on the Nigerian sports officials. The report. This will be brought to you subsequently in our bulletin. Now, the federal government has its commitment to engage. A statement by Director, Information and Public Relations of the Ministry of Finance, Mohammed Manga, disclosed that the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, disclosed this at a meeting with World Bank delegates in Abuja. We'll have this and more stories coming shortly after this break.
The leader of the All Progressives Congress in Edo Central Senatorial District, Major General Sise Sekaigbe, retired, is inviting the general public to the mega rally of the All Progressives Congress in Edo Central Senatorial District. It is going to be a gathering of lovers of democracy, as Edo Central APC welcomed the party's governorship candidate, Senator Monday Okpebholo, and his running mate, Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, all leaders and members of APC to Edo Central Senatorial District. Senator Comrade Adams Eric Oshamole, Chairman APC Governorship Campaign Council, Senator Matthew Uruhide, Director General APC Governorship Campaign Council, Imperial Jared Tenebe, APC Chairman Edo State, and other leaders and members of the Campaign Council will be on hand to address the crowd of Esan people who are yearning to elect Senator Monday Okpebholo, aka Akpakomiza, and Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, aka Mr. Project, as Governor and Deputy Governor respectively. Date, Wednesday 14th August 2024, time 10 a.m. prompt, venue, Uromita Hall Feed, Esan Northeast Local Government Area, Edo State. This message is endorsed by Major General Sesi Esehaigbe, retired, APC leader, Edo Central Senatorial District, and Honorable Prince Henry Odianose Okoje, coordinator, APC Campaign Council, Edo Central Senatorial District, member representing Esan Northeast and Esan Southeast Federal Constituency, and chairman, House Committee on Petroleum Resources, Mainstream Federal House of Representatives. APC poised to recite in Edo State.
Glad to know you're still with us. Now, shifting gears to the global scene, let's join our correspondent, Rebecca Guffey.
Hamas has responded to President Biden's initial ceasefire outline on July 2nd, reportedly agreeing to a 6-week pause rather than demanding a full ceasefire from the start. Talks resumed shortly after, but stalled when Israel introduced new conditions, including the screening of displaced Palestinians returning to northern Gaza and control over the Philadelphia corridor. International mediators, including Qatar, Egypt, and the U.S., have pushed both sides to resume discussions based on Biden's framework. Hamas is open to continuing talks from where they left off in July, while Israel agreed to participate in renewed negotiations. Russia is evacuating residents from second border region as Ukraine continues its unexpected offensive inside Russian territory. About 11,000 people have been moved from the Belgorod region due to enemy action near the border, according to Russian state media. This follows Ukraine's advance into the Kursk region last Tuesday, where they have now pushed up to 30 kilometers into Russia, marking marking the deepest incursion since the conflict began. President Vladimir Putin stated that the Russian Defense Ministry's primary goal is to push to kick the enemy out of Russian territory. A wildfire driven by strong winds is rapidly spreading towards Athens, forcing thousands of residents to evacuate. The air in the city is filled with smoke, making it extremely hot and dark according. Located about 20 miles northeast of Athens, have caught fire, and both a children's hospital and a military medical facilities have been evacuated. Around 670 firefighters are battling the flames, which started on Sunday afternoon. Explosions from cars and fuel tanks are causing new flare-ups, and water pressure in the affected areas is dropping. And lastly, a 31-year-old mother of two, Arezu Badri, has been left paralyzed from the waist down after being shot by Iranian police for allegedly violating the country's strict hijab rules, according to a source speaking to newsmen. The incident occurred on July 22nd in Noor, northern Iran, where police attempted to stop her car, which had a confiscation notice for suspected repeated violations of the hijab law. The bullet damaged her lung and severely injured her spinal cord. She was initially treated in Noor and later transferred to Tehran for further surgery. This incident follows a crackdown by Iranian authorities on women defying the compulsory hijab law, which includes using CCTV to identify violators. The crackdown identified after the death of Masha Amini in 2022 while in custody for allegedly wearing her hijab improperly. And that's it on the Global News segment for tonight. Thanks very much for watching. I am Rebecca Goffey.
The just concluded Paris Olympics has generated mixed reactions from Nigerians on the poor performance of the athletes who competed in the Games. BeeTv News' Freeman Osawe reports that the respondents blame the failure of the athletes on lack of preparations from the team, as well as over-bureaucracy on the Nigerian sports officials. The report.
The Paris Olympic Game has come to a close but has left many questions unanswered over the poor performance from the Nigerian athletes during the Games. Some Nigerians who reacted to the outcome said the Sports Commission is to blame for not making better preparations which affected the performance of the athletes. They also blamed it on the over-bureaucracy on the sports sector, which involves partial selection of athletes.
In this because we have heard athletes and other sports persons complaining over the years that they are not properly funded, to the extent that even when they get to some other countries where they are going for competitions, they are stranded there. So it's quite embarrassing. I think that is demoralizing, because when you find that the people at the top are only interested in making money, they don't care about the welfare and well-being of the athletes or the sports persons.
Put the right person in the right place, because I understand that some people were not, some athletes were not even registered, and that is very poor. That is poor management, poor preparation. The management should sit up.
Others, however, called on the Minister of Sports to prioritize sports in the country through grassroots sport development. They also said that prompt training of athletes should be facilitated early for future international games.
Let me know they should give us good and better mindset. They should give us, they should give us something good, speech that can improve us, that can give us the effort to do more on it.
Can follow the way our politicians behave. You know, after an election, they plan for the next. But we, after a sports competition, it's like months before the next one. That so if we can take sports as serious as we take elections, then maybe we will do better.
These respondents believe that if Nigeria prepares better for future games, the outcome will be more advantageous. Freeman Osawe reporting for BeeTv News.
And that's a wrap on the news for tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you on board with us. My name is Oluwatoyin Oyedola. Have a good night.